All right, Shalom, call all you how about Shah, Shalom to the left. The title of this video is going to be called The Worst Is Yet to Come. I was speaking to this guy earlier, and we was just talking about some random stuff. I could tell he wanted to ask me something, so I stopped to see, what he was going to say. And he asked me, he was like, well, I think about all the stuff that's going on, why is business and stuff been so slow in certain areas. I'm like, a lot of people owe the government, owe taxes. A lot of people getting their taxes back, but they trying to spend it on stocking up on goods and, different household stuff like that, and preparing for what's to come, because people paying attention, they seeing, and this not even the tipping point for real. It's just like the pretense of what's really gonna come. And he was just telling me, like, how he been trying to warn people and they weren't listening now. And I was like, yeah, they asking questions now, right? Let me get a few precepts real quick. They asking motherfucking questions, and I've been experiencing similar things as well. People want to speak more about it than I. When I used to really just bring this stuff up and talk about the third world coming and these different nations going against each other, the Most High put the spirit on these different leaders. They actually turn against each other and then actually link up eventually. Just shoot them arrows over here on Babylon. Well, they don't want to really hear that shit. Now, if you want to speak on it and ask questions, though. Let's see. It's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 32. See, I want to start at. I'm going to start at verse 2 and just read on down. It says, and the man shall be as a high place from the wind, a cover from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. It's not just talking about average men. You have to keep that in mind. You have men that the Most High put the spirit on, set up, gave them certain lots to fulfill in these times right now. Those men going to be those high places, those rivers of water in a dry place, the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Now it says, in the eyes of them that see them shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. And this is what you got going on now. People going to speak plainly. Now they want to ask what's going on. Or what you think about what's going to happen. No, I ain't, me personally, I know Akim will ain't know what we think going to happen is what we know going to happen. It's already been written and made manifest. Just some people don't believe. They lack faith. They claim to believe in the Most High, but don't believe His words. They have all these doubts and believe all these other doctrines, but when they hear the truth is grim. Let me go to this precept real quick. Okay, Ezekiel chapter 2. Ezekiel chapter 2. Let's see where I want to start at. I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, and thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. People talk shit, man. Oh, yeah, you reading that book, or you've been reading them books, or you've been listening to them camps and all the other stuff, or you part of one of them camps. They call it a cult. You're part of one of them cults. You don't even know the words. Don't even know the meaning of certain words, and then that stuff just be throwing out stuff. It says, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Though briars and thorns be with thee, and though thou dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor dismayed at their looks. People give you them ugly looks. You really want to see a person's true spirit? So I talk about these precepts. I start talking about prophecy. If you're familiar with certain prophetic events, and see how a person look at you. It says, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. So, speak these words to people. We have some people that take heed, they actually listen and be like, damn, it makes sense. They understand what's going on. Then you have some people that be like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. My great grandma was talking about that. My great uncle was talking about that. I heard somebody else trying to teach that it ain't happened yet. That's what they like to say. It says, for they are most rebellious. And thou son of man, hear what I say unto thee, be not thou rebellious like the rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. And you Akim has been built up and getting built up even more. You ate with the most I gave you. It poured this out to you. You digested it and realized what was what, and you've been sharing the information. Now it says in verse 9, when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. They spread it before me. There was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations, mourning, and woe. So in this book, everything ain't all sweet and all good and all love, love, love. You got lamentations, mourning, and woe. Now let's go into these words just to get the exact definition for it. Better yet, I'm gonna put it up on here. Give me 1 minute, let me scroll down. Now you go into woe, it says lamentation, says wailing. You go into mourning, it says rumbling, growling, moaning, and rumbling, growling, a sigh, a moan. Everything is all sweet. Like they say in the world, ain't shit sweet. That's just how this is. Elegant, dirgy. Well, I may be saying that wrong. So it's lucky. Let me see something. Let me click on this and see what I can pull up. See here before I play this other video. And this video I'm about to play, I want to pull it up too because I got this thing going on. Let's see. Got this thing going on with this cryptocurrency stuff, and Esau can't really regulate that stuff. Now, in limitation, it says the passionate expression of grief or sorrow, weeping, crying, sobbing, moaning, wail, sorrow, complaint, grief, grieving. And this goes into some more, it talks about other biblical accounts, because that's where it really comes from. It says the book of the Bible telling the desolation of Judah after the fall of Jerusalem in 586, which is a story I can look up. Let me go back to this. Let this video play. And all this right here, this is one sign that we're getting closer to, because you know what? The Karaka, the badge of servitude, that mark.
Financial institution controls any of it. It transcends borders, it transcends currencies.
Internet consultant Chris Hamer says cryptocurrency is out of the reach of the government, which is one of the reasons why he thinks President...
See, Esau can't have that. They gotta be able to control shit. So what they're gonna do is make some type of event and do away with this, or make it so people can't actually really utilize it like how people use it now. Because a lot of people make money from this. Stocks will be down one day. You buy low, sell high. They can't control that shit. So one thing they can't control though is that badge of servitude. They put that mark in you. You can't go buy or sell nothing unless they give you the permission to make sure your stuff activated, or they can shut it down.
President Biden is calling for more regulation and oversight. Hamer explains that cryptocurrency is the digital record of numbers passing between people on an agreed-upon amount, where they assign the value between each other.
Every government wants to have its own digital currency that they can use a decentralized network to maintain transactions and hopefully use it to supplant their fiat currency. Some of them will design a crypto system that will not have any anonymity.
The Biden administration is calling on the Treasury to develop policy recommendations on crypto with a focus on the areas of consumer and investor protection, financial stability and financial inclusion, illicit activity, and U.S. competitiveness on a global stage. Protecting consumers is also an important part of the directive after countless stories of investors falling for crypto scams and losing large amounts of money. Hammer says one of the biggest misconceptions about cryptocurrency is that the asset is not truly a currency.
It is a mutually agreed upon assignment of value for a digital token. It's not anything tied to a real asset. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by government credit or anything like that.
Hammer points out that cryptocurrency is volatile. It's an investment, and in many situations it can be addictive and lead to compulsion that is economically destroying many people's lives. Now, some financial experts are calling today's executive order from the president a watershed moment for digital assets, similar to the government's realization of how powerful the internet would be back in 1996. The prices of Bitcoin today surged above $42,000 in reaction to today's news.
Let's see. Esau don't like that shit, so what they gonna do? Let's go to this preset right here. Book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 17. Because just say if you'd have caught it while I was at, where it dropped at recently. I want to say last time I looked at it, it dropped down to maybe like 31,000. For Bitcoin, yeah, Litecoin, Ethereum, the Dogecoin, those different little coins and stuff. There's some other ones too in the mix that I know I'm familiar with. You catch it while it's low, then that shit shoot up and you make hell of money out there. Esau don't like that shit because they can't control that. So what they gonna do? They're gonna push this out right here. It's Revelation chapter 13, verse 17. And that's why I want to name this video "The Worst Is Yet to Come," because it's coming soon. There ain't gonna be no next 10 years shit either. You know, people talking about, oh, that'll probably happen next 10 years or 50 years of our great-grandkids to see that. Yeah, all right. Keep thinking like that. Verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And right now, you got this. Let me pull this up. Got this guy right here. What's the name of that thing? Let me see me think of it real quick. Neuralink. Now this guy been in the news for a minute. Neuralink technology company. I ain't gonna go all the way into it, but you should start looking more into this. Let me pull up this article right here. On MSN it says Neuralink Corporation is a Neuralink technology company developing implantable brain-machine interfaces. Now, what this say right here? Receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. What's right there behind that little piece of skull right there in your forehead? Your brain. Neurons. Now, let me go into this real quick. This article, I ain't gonna read all the way too much into it. I'll save it and post it in the actual video, so you can go finish reading up on it. Now it says Elon Musk says Neuralink will start implanting. You know, I don't say that word because they take videos down certain shit. They'll start implanting in humans in 2022. But nah, who wrote this? The white man wrote this book. Man, Esau not that crafty, man. They not gonna reveal all this shit like that. They like to do sneaky shit. They don't want you to know everything they're doing. They like to catch you off guard. They're not gonna really put it in your face like that. You know, it says that no man might buy or sell, save he that had a badge of servitude, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And this right here, man. They ain't talking about putting this out in 2022. And I ain't gonna read this whole article, like I said. I'm gonna make sure I got it copied so I can put it on there. It goes down even more into it. It says less than a year away from implanting, you know what, into human brains. They already tested it out on. Let me X this off. They already tested it out on animals. I want to say they tested it out on pigs and monkeys and stuff. They had the monkeys playing video games and shit with the chip. So you know they're gonna have people on board with this shit. Let me scroll. Here you go. Right here it says Neuralinks working well in monkeys, and we're actually doing just a lot of testing and just confirming that it's very safe and reliable, and the Neuralink device can be removed safely. That's what Esau say. They say it's gonna be removed safely, just like they say with the karama. They go in your hand. Yeah, people be like, well, if I put it in my hand, I can cut it out later. No, most I say don't put that shit in yourself. Don't put it in you. You believe in these scriptures, you believe in these words, you're not gonna put it in, because simultaneously